another episode of Geeks-a-Musing.
This is Nathan.
This is Ryan. Why are we talking like science fiction robots?
I don't know, yeah.
This is fantasy.
Yeah, this is fantasy movies, not science fiction, Ryan. Your robot voice.
My lord! To the castle!
So yes, we are going to be talking fantasy movies. Ryan's got a good... if you probably haven't figured out, Ryan's the list man in our duet.
Oh, the list?
Yeah. So he makes the most of the lists. Sometimes I'll do my own or
for the conspiracy one, I had a list, and then you just did research on.
I did a little bit, yeah, but I didn't do
stuff.
too much on this one. But we're gonna I'll kind of lean more towards your discussions.
The funny thing is, a lot of these, I mean, there were fantasy movies before my time, but they're usually like Greek myths, like the Hercules movies.
Excuse me, sorry.
Bless you. And then like Jason and the Argonauts.
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that. Holy crap! I just realized there's movies out there. There's a movie I don't have on this list.
What movie did you know?
Clash of the Titans.
Oh,
that'd be a fantasy movie.
It would be. We talked about that during
the original one. Yeah,
Greek one.
We talked about that before.
Then.
Yeah, I guess that would have been covered on the mythology or whatever.
Before you jump into that, I want to know: did you hear about the Lord of the Rings TV series?
Yeah, I did hear about that.
What do you think?
I haven't heard too much about it. I did hear about that. I didn't hear anything about it.
Well, I heard originally when I first heard about it, it was just.
When does it take place?
See, that's just it. The first time I heard anything about it is, I don't think they had really.
Because if they go, it's a prequel. I'm running in this opposite direction.
But then it was one of Kevin Smith's pods. I don't know if it was Hollywood Babylon or Fat Man on Batman. They had talked about it, and I think one of them said it's supposed to. I think it may have been Hollywood Babylon. It's supposed to be just a retelling of the first three movies.
What? Wait.
The Ring of Power.
Again?
That's what they said. Now I don't know. That would be weird.
I mean, if you've where are the writers? Are they all in caves? Because
well, yeah, keep talking. I'll try to look it up real quick while you're talking about it.
Because there's so much to do. It's such a large area. It's like, same with Star Wars or other, You got Conan the Barbarian, but then, there was other people around. I mean, sure, everyone's more interested in what Conan's doing, but
right.
Can you imagine how many adventures that guy was on? We only got 2 movies out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
2 movies with Schwarzenegger. I don't count that other one. That other movie sucked.
Oh, with Momoa?
Yeah, I like that guy, but the Conan movie was crap.
I tried to rewatch
Although I did like the way he looked like the Conan out of the comimes.
Yeah, him looking like Conan was good. And I rewatched it not too long ago, going to bed at night. I watched a little bit and I'd fall asleep and I'd pick up where I left off.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember just really hard to stomach through some of and I even like the bad guy, Stephen Lang. He's a good actor from Avatar.
Yeah.
What's the one where
I don't get how he's going to come back.
Who?
We're supposed to get 3 more Avatar movies.
Oh, is he supposed to be in them?
He's supposed to be in the next one as the next bad guy.
Really?
Yes. How?
That's weird.
I was pierced with 2 arrows. I think it was 2 arrows, and they had that poison that would kill, that would stop your heart in under a minute, which is what he said to himself. And he was hit with 2 of them, and those arrows were the size of telephone poles.
Alrighty.
I just remember how tall were those things? Like 9 feet tall, 10 feet tall.
Yeah, I think you're 9 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
but you got to think of that. Arm length. Okay, when you spread your arms from fingertip to fingertip, put your arms straight out wide. That's as tall as you are. So if you were to measure from this hand to my fingertips, it would be 69 inches because I'm 69 inches tall. Yeah, that's right, ladies.
Oh my gosh,
that was so frat boy right there. That's right, girls. So yeah, but you got a whole Lord of the Rings. There's a whole area. It's a whole whole continent. Other things happened. There was other adventurers besides the main adventurers.
Yeah, I was trying. I can't find anything that actually says definitively that it's going to be a retelling.
Like, man, I tell you what, you make it Dungeons and Dragons, the Dungeons and Dragons Adventures. Man, I could work that story for 20, 30 years.
Yeah, well,
and not just one, multiple stories.
Well, this is from Deadline.com. It's saying They are from Deadline.com saying the Lord of the Rings original series is going to be a prequel to Tolkien's The Fellowship of the Ring. So take place between The Hobbit and The Fellowship?
That's possible.
Maybe. No details about the deal. Okay, so
that's because they don't know.
Yeah, they don't. But it really depends. I'm hoping it's not a retelling of.
Technically, it's not a prequel because it would be the prequel. The prequel was Hobbit.
Right. So it would be a.
I don't know the verbiage.
Yeah.
I don't know the verbiage.
Because there's other Tolkien books out there that take place in the same place.
Yeah, my list is top 10, but it's based on the movies that I liked in my order. But I got as many as I could in the top 10. But I'm realizing there's others I put into a honorable mentions area.
All right, well, start us off, sir.
So number 10, I have the Hobbit movies. And those include. I know what you mean. I actually watched them recently.
Yeah,
but I did go through. I was kind of like working on maps, for my games or whatever like that, the ones I showed you.
Yeah. And
then I was kind of listening to it. It was in the background, so I didn't really watch it.
They're not Star Wars prequel bad.
Oh yeah, but it's bad when let's let the guy who's making the movie have all the money and make all the decisions.
Yeah,
that's not a good idea. It's never a good idea.
Yeah.
So you have 2012 was An Unexpected Journey. 2013 Desolation of Smaug.
I remember when we because you
Smaug
you came over
Smoogie
and you went with me and my family and you come down here and we met up and we went and saw Unexpected Journey because I remember because I started not feeling good.
We went,
and I ended up coming down with a really bad like sore throat with fever and all that by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So I remember being by the end of the movie kind of loopy.
You infected like half the audience.
I did. I'm patient zero.
2014's Battle of Five Army.
That was 3 years ago already?
Yeah.
Dang.
I know. So, we'll go through some of our stars. Who was that directed by? Do you know? Peter Jackson?
Yeah.
Who was it supposed to be directed by?
Supposed to be directed by Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, nice. I can't say that word.
and it was going to be just two movies.
I can't say words.
He was just going to do both movies, which I would have loved to have seen. This is the thing. I would have loved to have seen Guillermo del Toro's Hobbit movie.
Yeah.
However,
his monsters and stuff.
It would have felt like it took place in a different universe than Lord of the Rings.
That's true.
So I think you wouldn't have been able to really mash those two series together into one cohesive thing, because like you're saying, his monsters, his art style is very distinct.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have matched, I wouldn't have thought, with Peter Jackson's.
Off topic, have you seen that picture of, what's his name from, what's it called? Oh, man, I can't remember the name. Stranger Things.
As Hellboy?
As Hellboy.
Yeah.
Did you see that? That was cool looking makeup, but I'm still like going, it's not Ron Perlman.
No, but well, you look at it too and you're like, it looks a lot like Ron Perlman's Hellboy.
Yeah, kind of. But
especially the face.
Looks weird, yeah. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer Perlman's not coming back. To do it, or Guillermo.
What was the thing? Did you see the thing where Perlman? There was a kid, one of those. What are the kids who the Last Wishes or?
Oh yeah, Make a Wish.
Yeah, Make a Wish. Yeah. Last Wishes. That's horrible. Sorry. But yeah, the Make a Wish, and he wished to have Hellboy, and he dressed up in that costume.
Oh,
and everything,
that's cool.
And went to go see the kid. Man, I like it when they do that stuff.
Yeah.
Those are stars to me. Those are people who are, they're not so high up into the sky. They think they can do whatever the hell they want.
My growing up in Michigan, my best friend in Michigan, and he does like portraits. So he did one of Ron Perlman, and he ended up, I don't know what happened, but he posted it somewhere, did something, but Ron Perlman actually commented on it.
Oh, that's cool.
Telling him it was really good.
Yeah.
And so he said he was going to try to get him to sign it next time he went to a convention or something there. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. You actually got a correspondence back and forth between Perlman about that. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, my friend Travis is a really good artist. He used to draw pictures of like rock stars, stuff like that, and then he'd try to like go to concerts or like at like conventions or whatever.
Yeah.
But then he would draw stuff for like actors or whoever other artists.
Mm-hmm.
He got me a drawing once from Scott Kurtz, who does the PvP online comic of one of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got I knew she was a model. She was in a comic book that they made a model of this comic book. I can't remember. Her name was Susie Owens. I think that was her name. But she was a superhero character called Flaxen. It wasn't really like a superhero character, but she was it was one of those off-brand kind of comic companies or whatever like that. But he got her to sign a thing for me, and she sent it to me on the ship when I was on the ship. I was like going, cool. I don't know who this girl is, but it was funny. Anyway, way off topic.
Yeah, we got to.
Okay. So number 10, the Hobbit movies. We got Ian McKellen as Gandalf.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Freeman as Bilbo. There's no way I was writing down all those dwarves, so I just got Richard Armitage as Thorin because he was. I think he was one of the best. Yeah. There was other dwarves, and then there was the dwarves who really didn't have a whole lot of hair on their face. So.
No, and that's the thing that threw me off about the dwarf because you got Gimli's dwarf, and the Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah.
And he just makes mention how the female dwarves sometimes they're mistaken for men.
Yeah. You saw a couple of female ones leaving the mountain when Smaug had taken her.
Oh,
they were all fleeing. Yeah.
Were they all bearded?
Yeah, they had bearded. Yeah,
did they really?
Yeah. I saw one. I go, that's definitely a female. She was running. She had a baby.
And you hear that, and you okay, but then you get those ones, and it literally looks like just a human with giant boots on.
It's a short human.
I'm like, well, he looks nothing like a dwarf.
Well, there was no way they were going to cover up what's his face's good looks with a beard. What was that guy's name? Adrian, something like that. Adrian.
I can't remember what his name was.
Orlando Bloom was back as Legolas, and then Evangeline Lilly, who is Toriel, who was not even a character in the books. I almost said the comic books. Who was in the books, but they just made up a character, which I'm not sure how I feel about them just making up random characters and throwing it in there. But I liked her character.
Well, that or even throwing in.
Plus, it was hot. It was nice to see a nice hot little female elf running around kicking ass.
I mean, they also threw because I read The Hobbit, but I'm having trouble remembering. But I don't think Legolas is in The Hobbit.
I don't remember.
I don't.
It's been a long time.
I don't even think. What's the Elrond?
Elrond?
Yeah. Elrond or Elrod? I don't.
Elrod, the baseball player. Elrond. That's
Elrond.
Was it the king?
Wasn't he? Isn't that Hugo Weaving?
Yeah. Okay. That's
I don't even know if he was in The Hobbit. I mean, they threw a bunch of stuff in there because they originally they said they wanted.
He was in the when the dwarves went to they got tricked by Gandalf to go stay with the elves.
Yeah. Was he actually exactly?
Yeah, he was there because he met up with them.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember.
And then he had Kate Blanchett as Galadriel. She came back and played Galadriel. And then Kate Blanchett's always going to be. She's always going to be Galadriel, and now she's always going to be Hela from the Thor movie.
Oh, from Thor Ragnarok, yeah.
She looks good in that movie, too. Benedict Cumberbatch is Smaug. I'm saying Smaug. I'm an American.
Yeah.
I pay my taxes. I'll say what I want to say.
I really like Smaug's scenes in Desolation of Smaug between him and Bilbo.
And then Elijah Wood came back as Frodo for some bit parts, and Andy Serkis came back as Gollum.
As good old Gollum.
As Glugum.
Galugaman.
Yeah, but I mean, what you got any takes on the Hobbit?
No, just as far as the adventure part, the fantasy part of it goes, it's enjoyable. I know you get a lot of people who are like, they just walk everywhere. It's walk. It's like, well, for the time
they had horses for a little while.
Well, it's like horses are walking. It's like it's for where it's set. That's all they could do. And it's fine. I have no problem thinking about being on an adventure and just walking somewhere.
Because you don't have cars.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool. The scenery again, filming.
Almost like that scene in Braveheart when you see a car in the background.
Oh, you do? I don't remember that.
Off to the side.
Oh, I don't.
Like right, just on the edge of the camera. There's somebody's Datsun sitting over there. Which of you guys drove here? Oh man. Yeah, see, I didn't put things like Braveheart and stuff like that because that's not fantasy. That was based on, an actual thing. Because The Hobbit didn't really happen.
Yeah, with your finger, it was based on.
It was based on. finger quotes. Okay, so for number 9 is a movie I was not able to see in theaters, but I really like this movie. Dragon Slayer from 1981.
I don't think I've seen that.
You would actually like this one because it's got Peter McNichol as I think his name's Galen. I think it's Galen. And then Caitlin Clark, who I don't know what other movie she was in, but she played Valerian. And then Ian what's his name? McDermott. Yeah, he was apparently in this movie. I didn't know he was. And he played Brother Jacopus, which was I think if I remember right, he was one of the preachers who was kind of siding with the Dragon Slayer, but then he kind of he's getting some money off the side kind of situation. But the special effects for the dragon almost look like CGI.
Really?
But today's CGI, back in 1981, but it's stop motion animation. It looks so fluid and good. You can't tell it's stop motion animation. There's a part where the dragon's crawling because she's crawling through her cave, trying to find him. And you're going, it looks like they pasted wings or whatever on and made up a lizard. It doesn't look, it looks real, but there's no such creature like that here on Earth.
Are you sure they didn't?
Unless Disney was making
or gluing things on
unless
lizards?
they were making lizards or whatever. No, it looks like it doesn't look like a man. I don't know. It's stop motion animation, but it looks so real. It's really good. But then they have there's baby dragons and they don't look that good. But
you've got me interested now.
I should bring that. Let you watch it.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I enjoy that movie.
What's the premise? Do you remember?
There's a dragon tormenting this kingdom, and then they hold this lottery, and they sacrifice the maidens or whatever that get drawn to the lottery, and it's only the girls have to go. I think it's the firstborn women.
Okay.
And then I don't want to spoil some of the stuff, but basically he gets a spear forged and a shield made of dragon hide because the flames bounce right off of it, which is weird because there's one point where he holds up the shield, he crouches down, and he puts the shield in front of himself so it covers his whole body. But the flames are hitting the shield and kind of wrapping around him. I'm going, how's his hair not burned? Because his head's up a little bit to where the flames would have burned the hair out right off his head. But it still looks pretty badass. That's pretty much it for Dragon Slayer. Number 8, The 13th Warrior, came out in 1999.
Yeah.
And I like this movie because I remember my friends had seen it and I hadn't seen it, and then I think it was on. My friend just had it on TV once, so they were having a party, and I avoided the party for 2 hours just to watch this movie.
I'm gonna be honest. I remember being a little disappointed in the movie.
Yeah.
Because I wanted it to be real creatures.
Oh yeah,
not people.
That's one of the best parts about that, though.
Yeah, I still enjoy it.
Yeah, you think it's monsters, but then you're going, oh, it's not. They're just.
But now I just want to see a 13th Warrior where they really are monsters.
Well, I think it was all based on Beowulf, really. The whole situation with they had because a lot of it was basically from there. Wasn't it from somebody's book? Was it from was it Dean Koontz book?
13th Warrior?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe not Dean Koontz.
But you had mentioned Beowulf, the animated movie. Did you ever watch that?
No, I didn't watch that.
You didn't see it?
No, I like the actual story. No, I think I own that. I remember watching that because of the Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie, she plays the demon.
Yeah.
I am Beowulf.
But they have Antonio Banderas, who plays. Oh man, here comes the name.
You're supposed to say Antonio Banderas.
I can't do accents. Ahmed Ibn Fadlan.
That's good.
But his name was even longer than that. But they were I remember he's trying to tell him his name, and they go Eben because that's the only part they could get. His name's Eben. He's like, no, it's, and he starts doing the thing. I like how he would get frustrated trying to talk to them. Omar Sharif in his last movie.
Omar, yeah.
His name is Melchik. Oh Jesus, Melch is it? I can't say words.
Oh, let me see.
Good luck.
Melchizedek?
Yeah.
Melchizedek?
What'd you say, Melchizedek?
Melchizedek?
No, there was a lot of close. There was a lot of good parts in that movie, where he's just listening to him talk, and he kind of figures out how to. I don't know. It's really kind of weird and kind of magical and kind of Mary Sue-ish, if you want to be, where he can just kind of listen to people, and then he can suddenly speak their language.
Oh, that's right.
How long
He could,
in Japan?
Yeah.
I couldn't just sit there and watch people talking Japanese and go, "Oh, I know what he's saying."
Yeah,
he's saying,
I got it.
He's saying, "Kill the round eye." Let's get where this conversation's going.
You just sit there. You're not moving though.
Yeah, but he was like listening to him, and then one guy said something bad about him, and he spoke in their. It was English, but they heard it in their words. It was cool. But he was like, that one guy was like, How'd you learn a language? He goes, I listened. He figured it out. But I like that movie. There was a lot of other cool little things in that movie.
Yeah, didn't the guys they have like they wore like bear fur and bear like paws?
They had bear helmets with teeth, and they had bear paws they used to fight with, and the people thought they were basically bears.
Yeah, because that village they thought they were being attacked by monsters.
That's the part in that main part where one of the first fights where he figures it out, and like he kills one of the guys, and then the guy's helmet comes off, and he sees it's a man, and he starts pacing back and forth going, it's a man. It's a man. He starts figuring out these aren't monsters, nothing to be afraid of. They're just people, and he just starts tearing ass and going to town. There was one of the other warriors was the one with I don't know what his name is. I know that another guy I'm going to mention in this he was in the movie because he was one of the warriors. But there was another warrior who was this big tall guy, and as the horses are running by him, they're putting javelins into him, and so he takes like 7 to the back, and then he turns around, and he takes 5 to the front, and he's still standing. You're like, oh my god!
Holy crap!
And then he just kind of falls, it finally gets him, and he finally falls. But you're like, going, he took that many hits.
It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
Oh man, I watch that movie every now and then.
I gotta rewatch it.
Number 7,
Lay it on me.
Kroll from 1983. Who had the sad distinction of going up against the Return of the Jedi.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Kroll. You did not win.
Yeah. Kroll, did you bring that? Did we watch that?
I don't know. Did we watch it before?
There was Kroll, and isn't there another one that sounds similar?
I don't know. Because Kroll was the one where he had the glaive, which of top 5 weapons, that's got to be my number 3.
The
lightsaber's number 1.
What weapon is it?
Han Solo's blaster would be number 2.
And what weapon is this?
The glaive was like this. It almost looked like a fidget spinner.
Oh.
But you held it and it had 5 arms that went out.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you did something, these blades would pop out and you could throw it and it would spin like a frisbee, like a saw blade in the air.
Yeah.
But you could control it while it was in the air.
That's cheating.
I know, but it was also weird because he got the thing early on in the movie, does not use it until the last part of the movie.
Aww.
You're like going, you know how many people you could have saved?
Yeah.
You know, all these people who died. If you use the damn glaive. Colwyn, who was played by Ken Marshall. They had an actress who played. I like this name, Lissa.
Lissa?
Yeah, Lissa, just regular old Lissa. But her name was played by Lysette Anthony, who apparently they dubbed her voice by an older actress. So like this young girl, I think she was 16 or 17 at the time. Really, really pretty girl.
Hi, Kroll.
But they were not with the transgender voice.
Would you like to come to bed with me?
Yeah. Would you fuck me?
Oh, crap.
And then surprisingly, guess who was in this movie? Liam Neeson. He was in this movie, and he played Keegan.
Liam Neeson.
He was one of the warriors, one of the bandits.
Oh, just like one of his first movies. This movie came out when?
1983.
83.
But he was in another movie I have listed in here that came out in 1981.
Oh, predates.
He was in that too. He was in that too. Yeah.
Okay.
He wasn't such a big actor now that his life's not forfeit. So, anyway, number 6 is a movie I used to watch over and over and over because back in my Dungeons and Dragons days when we were kids, these are the movies we used to watch because they get you in the mood for that kind of stuff. Number 6, Beastmaster came out in 1982.
Beastmaster, yeah.
That's most people know that's a classic. Beastmaster's a classic.
Another movie I've seen a couple times, but it's been a year since I've seen it though.
Oh, yeah, Beastmaster?
Yeah, I just remember being younger and watching it and being sad when that one ferret dies. Spoilers.
He didn't die.
I thought he died.
Yeah, he died.
Oh,
spoilers.
I was about to say, did I misremember that?
No, he died because he saved what's his name?
Yeah,
It was a
sad all
sacrifice.
over again.
Sacrifice.
That, and I remember the
sacrifice he was willing to take.
The bat things that like liquefy.
Oh yeah.
What
were those called? I can't remember what they were called.
What were they called? He just opens up and it's just isn't it just like
they would
bones?
they'd like hug you, but basically they wrap like a shower curtain around you.
Yeah,
and they would kind of blend you like a blender, and then they would. I don't know how that worked.
I don't.
But they would they would throw their arms open and you would just be bones and armor and whatever.
Yeah,
because they did that to the guys at the end.
Yeah, see, it's been so long.
Yeah.
I just remember a couple parts of it.
Had Mark Singer as Dar. This is back when they couldn't think of really good fantasy
Dar.
names, so it was just
Yar.
Dar. Dar had the powers of the Beastmaster. He could see through the eyes of animals.
That's right, he did.
Did he control them? I think he could talk to him and be like, "Go do this," and they would go do that.
He made him like do a whole bunch of like weird perverted stuff.
No, he
I
didn't.
remember.
That was in the
It
porn
might-
version. Speaking of porn versions, Tanya Roberts played Kiri. Tanya Roberts I think she used to be one of the. I'm pretty sure she used to be one of the Charlie's Angels.
Really?
She was
From
really,
the
she
original?
was really pretty, yeah.
Oh,
She got to be, of course, this is the 80s. She got to be naked a lot of times. Rip Torn, strangely, the comedian was.
let's throw confetti.
What? Not that Rip Torn.
Oh wait, that's Rip Taylor.
That's
My
Rip
bad.
Taylor.
I'm sorry.
Rip Torn.
Rip Torn is if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball, right?
Yeah, pretty much. He was the bad guy, and his name was Max with 2 A's.
that means he's evil.
That means he's fantasy evil guy.
I'm Max.
My name's Max. Not 3 A's. It's too many. Just 2 A's.
You
So
didn't say
Max.
my name right.
It's not Max. It's not
You know what?
Max. It's Max.
I remember him from Dodgeball, but you know the first movie and the one whenever I see him, I always remember him other than Men in Black.
I was going to say Men in Black.
Men in Black and Dodgeball was an 80s comedy with John Candy
Which one was that
called
one?
Summer Rental.
Oh, yeah.
He played
I haven't seen that in a
little
long time.
pirate guy. Scully was his name.
Oh, of course his name was
He had a
Scully.
little restaurant.
He already talked like a pirate.
He better have. And then John Amos played Seth.
Do you
John
mean John
Amos.
Stamos?
No, John Amos was a really big black dude who was on what was the show? Oh man, I used to like that show. I can't remember it all of a sudden. It was one of the Good Times.
Oh,
He was on Good Times. He was the dad. Which I'm not sure how many episodes because my watching that show is kind of limited. As I used to watch it a lot, but then like over time, you know, I probably watched every episode of Three's Company, but I can only remember 3 episodes.
yeah, that's true.
Oh man, yeah, he was in that. He had like I think he looked like a monk because he walked around in like a robes, but he had a staff, but he could really use that staff. And then at one point he like takes it off and he's like in this leather clad like I don't know what he's wearing, but he's ready to kick ass. But all right, number 5, the classic from 1987, Princess Bride.
Yeah, Princess
Everyone
Bride.
knows Everyone knows quotes from this movie.
Yeah.
If you've seen the movie, you know at least you know inconceivable.
I do not believe that. What is it? I do not believe that means what you think it means.
You guys keep using that word. I do not believe it means what you think it means.
What's the other one? My name is Inigo Montoya.
Yeah, keep going.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Yep. And he kept saying it.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
And that guy goes, "Stop saying that." He got fed up. I like that it would get all serious, and then little things like that would pop in. It would just make it comedic.
What is Andre the Giant in him? They keep rhyming.
Oh, they're doing the rhyming.
Yeah.
Game? Yeah. Physic, are those rocks ahead? If they are, we'll all be dead.
Oh,
man.
dang.
Stop that rhyming now. I mean it. Anybody want a peanut?
That movie's so good.
That movie's great, man.
Oh,
Yeah, how do you say his name? Carrie Yules?
No, I think it's oh, dang it.
I want to call him Elway, but that's not right. Carrie Elway.
Els? Carrie Els or
Is it Els? It's ELWES.
Yeah, I keep wanting to say Elwes, but I think it's Carrie Els or something. I think that maybe the W. I can't remember.
He played Wesley.
Wesley Snipes.
He played Wesley.
Oh.
He also played the Man in Black.
Yep. Who was the
Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah, Dread
Yes.
Pirate Roberts.
Manny Patinkin. How come I can't say that word? Inigo Montoya. Chris Sarandon, who was the vampire in Fright Night.
Oh, really?
He played Prince Humperdinck. And then Wallace Shawn played Vicini. It's weird. They say it one way, but it's spelled another. Andre the Giant played Physic. And then Robin Wright was the Princess Bride, and her name was Buttercup. Carol Kane was Valerie, and Billy Crystal was Miracle Max, and Fred Savage was the grandson, and the late Peter Falk was the grandfather.
Peter Falk, yep.
Do you want me to tell you the story, kid, or not?
It says right here, it says Carrie, and then it's EL-WEZ.
What?
Elwes.
Oh, Elwes?
Elwes?
All
That's
right.
what it says.
There you
That's
go.
what
That's his name. Yeah, there's a lot of great quotes in that movie, though. The cliffs of insanity. Hurry up, move the thing, and that other thing. That's when they're on the boat. He doesn't know what things are named. Yeah, that's a really good movie. I remember when I first saw it, I was like, going, "Oh God, this is great."
Yeah, it is.
What about the ROUSs? Rodents of unusual size? I don't believe they exist. One jumps on them.
Who does Andre the Giant? Who do they dress him up as?
Oh, they dress him up as like a death thing or something like that.
Oh,
like
is he supposed to be
a reaper? Because they put him in a big old plague cloak or whatever.
Yeah, he's all crazy deep, and they're pushing him.
Yeah, and then he's like, oh, they're supposed to dress him up as what they think the Dread Pirate
That's
Roberts
right.
would
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
He's like, the Dread Pirate Roberts has come from your soul. And all guys, they're all freaking out. Don't they light it on fire? They light him on fire in his cloak. Oh man!
Oh, poor Andre. He died shortly after.
I think he did.
I can't remember when he died. Late 80s or early 90s?
I watched it because it's been like 30 years, something like that, since that movie
When
came
it come out? 87?
87?
Yeah.
40 years?
30 years.
30 years? But Robin Wright mentioned how one time she was really cold and Andre the Giant just put his hand on her head and warmed her up. Because his hand covered her whole head.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, that's crazy. You get an Andre the Giant hand helmet. Number 4 is from 1988, Willow.
Been a long time since I've seen that.
Willow Upgood.
It's actually been so long, I don't remember much.
Really?
Yeah, it's been...
I watched... That movie used to be on cable, and whenever
decade.
we played Dungeons & Dragons, like, we'd be done. And everyone would be like, cool down and calm down and go to sleep, whatever like that. But then, like, that movie would be on cable, and I would just sit there and watch it, and I'd fall asleep. But I remember watching it over and over and over and over. It starts to get nitpicky where you're going, that looks dumb, like that, or this part's stupid. But it's Willow is it's almost Star Wars. It's for kids. Plus, it was made by wasn't it made by George Lucas? I think it was.
Was it?
I think.
Well,
check it out.
Yeah, while you keep talking. About it.
Warwick Davis, who played Wicket W. Warwick in Return of the Jedi, he was an Ewok.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He played Willow Upgood. Val Kilmer was Mad Mardigan, which is weird because every time I heard the word Mad Mardigan, I figured it was Mad Space Mardigan. Like his name was Mardigan, but they just called him Mad Mardigan because he was crazy. It's all one word. That was his name, Mad Mardigan.
Oh.
Interesting. And then Joanne Whalley, I think her and Val Kilmer were married for a time because I remember them together. But
here you go, real quick. It was directed by Ron Howard, but
that's right.
George Lucas is a writer.
Okay, yeah. Joanne Whalley played. I always like this name, Sorsha.
Sorsha?
Sorsha, yeah.
Oh yeah, there she is.
That's an Irish name. So, but I remember that movie. That movie's.
I do remember the
had trolls, had a two-headed dragon.
The guy has like the skull mask.
Yeah,
helmet. I do remember that.
I forgot the guy's name.
It says Jen Kale.
Oh, General Kale.
General Kale.
Kale, something like that. Yeah, he was. That guy was weird. He had that sword.
That guy looks familiar too. Vonkar?
Oh, Vonkar?
Yeah.
Is he one of the dwarves?
It must be. Yeah. He is.
They weren't called dwarves in the movie.
What were they called in the movie?
I remember they had a name for them. They called them Pecs, but that was like a derogatory term.
Oh,
I can't remember what they were called. What? There's a part where Willow's by the side of the roads and Mad Mardigan's in the cage, and he's got the baby and the stupid little brownies with him.
Oh yeah.
And like the army's coming through, and he's like trying to give him the baby. He's like, "Well, can you take this baby?" And this guy goes, "Out of the way, Peck." And that's exactly how he says it. Because we used to imitate that all the time.
Oh dang!
But then they had, that was a pretty good movie. I like the dragon part in that because there was a two-headed dragon, and it was like the kind of screen thing where it's like the actors in the foreground and it's just on a screen, that kind of acting. Where you're like, oh my God, there's a dragon behind me. It's not really there. It's a screen. It's just a screen.
But I'm screen in front of me.
But I can actually act a little bit better than if it was a CGI creature. Yeah. I think it was stop motion, that creature.
Probably. See, I don't remember.
Man, I gotta come over here early sometime and just watch movies.
Yeah, you need to bring over some of these old.
You need a brush up.
I do, big time.
You need a history lesson, boy.
Oh, I do.
All right, let's go for number 3. Number 3. these movies came out when I first moved out here. Lord of the Rings trilogy, 2001, Fellowship of the Ring. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
2002, Two Towers. 2003, Return of the King.
Wow, Return of the King was 2003.
Yeah, I know.
Holy crap, 14 years ago. Oh my gosh.
I saw Fellowship of the Ring with my aunt, and we were sitting there, and when that movie was over, she used to come. I think there's only 3 movies she saw with me. But she was like, but the second and third one, she was like, all right, let's just go get this over with. Not that she didn't enjoy them, but they were just so damn long. She used to call them butt burners because you'd be sitting there going, oh my God, what's this movie going to be over with? I'm glad she didn't see the special edition ones with all the extra stuff.
Return of the King. Holy crap.
Yeah. Oh, all of them because they're like I think you said during the Blu-ray DVD one, you have. Because I'm the same way. I checked them out. Although I put those away because I have the Blu-rays out, the extended versions. Mm-hmm. I got all those on. I got the theatrical on DVD, the extended ones on DVD, and then the same with the Blu-rays, and then the same thing with the Hobbit movies.
Yeah, the Hobbit movies. I never bought those on DVD, but I bought both versions on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, I got those on Blu-ray.
The theatrical and the extended.
Now
you know what? If you were to watch all the extended of the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, how many hours is that? Movies.
1 day of your whole life. I don't know.
It's long.
It is a long time. If you're going to watch them back to back, that's one of those ones you better get a nap before you wake up in the morning.
Those are such good movies, and the extended versions are just so much better. And the theatrical versions are good.
Yeah,
but man, just the extra stuff they add in just makes it.
It's extra stuff they added, but that you did miss not being in there. Right. It wasn't like extra stuff that was in there and you're like going, oh, okay, well, I didn't really need that information, but, you know.
The original Lord of the Rings trilogy is a trilogy I wish I could go back and rewatch for the first time.
Really?
Yes.
Not Star Wars?
Star Wars, yeah, but I think mainly because Star Wars came out, a couple years before I was born. Would
you go see Jaws if you could see it for the first time in the theater?
Yeah, there's a lot of movies I probably would. But for some reason, Lord of the Rings is one I remember watching because going in, it's a trilogy.
Yeah, now I'm trying to think of like movies I would like to go see again. Because I saw Tremors in the theater, and it was a great reaction during the basement scene from the audience. Yeah, it was awesome.
But when I first watched the Fellowship of the Ring, I used to when I lived at home still, I used to talk to my sister, and I would say a lot like Bilbo Baggins of the Shire. I used to redo the opening to that, and my sister, I used to annoy the crap out of her. I'd always say Bilbo Baggins. So she finally got around to watching the movie. She's like, I finally saw that scene you kept irritating me with.
You ruined it for me. Let's see, who do we got in this? We'll go for the Hobbits, also known as halflings. It's a derogatory term. Elijah Wood is Frodo. Yeah. Sean Astin is Sam. It just says Sam, but I put Samwise.
Yeah, Samwise Gamgee.
Samwise Gamgee. Billy Boyd is Pippin.
The one who always...
Pippin. What's his last name?
Pippin Longstocking?
No. Pippin Took. Was that his last name? Yeah. Because he's like, full of a took.
Yeah, full of a took. Pippin kept doing stupid stuff.
Dominic Monaghan, who had that actor had the luck... He got a date, what's her name for a while?
Who?
Evangeline Lilly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Lucky bastard. That was Mary. Mary and Pippin together. Let's see. Viggo Mortensen is Aragorn. Orlando Bloom again is Legolas. Okay, the Legolas I enjoyed, but when he was doing his off-the-wall extreme stuff...
his X game stuff.
Like going, what the hell's this? Gosh. I was like, some of it was kind of cool, but then... The one thing I never got was... Why is he walking on the snow when everyone else is trudging through it? Even if he doesn't weigh anything, his equipment weighs something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's just kind of it's like going, look, this is how cool elves are.
That's what I was gonna say.
They can do magical things.
You're all huge into D&D and stuff like that. So I figured you would have the answer to that.
Elves weigh 70 pounds, give or take some extra dice, because whenever you make a character and you want to do your height and weight, you can just go, I'm 6'3", this is how much I weigh, whatever like that, or you can randomly do it. And you start it as like, say if you're a human, 68 inches tall, and then plus 1d6, so 1d6 inches, so that's how much you'll weigh.
Is it something then in the Tolkien universe that
I don't
explained
know,
it?
Man. I don't know.
But I'll tell you this: his extreme sports that he does in it is a little like when he's sliding down on the shield chute.
Yeah, that's the one that I don't like.
Rides the elephant.
That's
the oliphant.
The oliphant thing I think is actually kind of cool a little bit, but I'm still like, it's the roller coaster. Oh god, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
why is he slide? Why has he got to slide on
down? But the one that gets me,
it's like a skateboard move.
Yeah, but the one that always gets me.
He should just ollied off the elephant.
Well, he did.
You shut up.
He what is it in the Two Towers?
He did stuff in The Hobbit too.
Which one? Which part? Which? Oh yeah.
The part when he was on that little tower that had crumbled across the chasm, and he killed that dude that was crumbling, and he started running on bricks in the air.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and I was like, "What is? What are you, a cartoon?" Oh, he is a cartoon because he looks like CGI right there.
CG'd. But it was the one from the Two Towers where he's going to jump on the horse.
Oh no, that part always messed up to me.
It looks
it's like he's fighting physics.
Exactly,
and he's winning.
You see where he grabs the horse. You're like, okay, he's going to swing around this way, and instead he does some
opposite.
Broken...
There's no ethereal or earthly way he could go in that direction, but he does.
I don't understand why they chose to do that.
Yeah, it's really weird. Every time I see it, I go, "What?" It takes me out. I go, "Where am I?" Oh, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in Middle Earth.
Oh dang, that always gets me.
Maybe Middle Earth's in the middle of the Hollow Earth. Anyway, that was a little callback to you. Okay, Orlando Bloom. Let's see. John Rhys Davies as Gimli. He was pretty good. Liv Tyler as Arwen.
Who was the guy you said again?
I have her sword.
Before her?
John Rhys Davies?
Yeah. Asps. Very dangerous. You go first.
This isn't that movie.
Sorry. I couldn't help myself.
Hugo Weaving as Elrond.
Yeah.
Ian McKellen as Gandalf. Sean Bean. I wonder if he lives in this movie. As Boromir.
Poor Sean Bean.
I think he's
always dying.
There must be some kind of thing in his contract.
It must be. He's like, look, I want to die.
And he's like, look, from now on, if I'm in movies where I die, can I get a bonus? Oh yeah. And they're like, okay.
Yeah, anything. Yeah, especially anything medieval.
I know this character's supposed to live, but not in this movie. Christopher Lee, Saruman. I hope that picked up on the microwave. In the microwave. On the microphone.
On the microwave.
I'm tired, I think.
Yeah.
And Ian Holm is Bilbo. I have a special mention is Sarah McLeod, who played Rosie Cotton, one of the hottest hobbits. I almost said halfling. Sorry. That's because of D&D. Don't blame me.
Yeah, you're obsessed with her, Rosie Cotton.
She was pretty.
Yeah,
there was a part when she was
married.
dancing. Oh, it would have been maybe her. Not in the later movies. In the Hobbit, when she's there for a brief second.
Oh, I don't remember.
And she's just kind of like, I think she looks over at Sam and she smiles. You're like, oh, whoa, who's that girl? I go, oh, that's right. She's like 3 feet tall. Never mind. What is wrong with me? Okay, 1981. I saw this movie in the theater with my dad. My dad went and took me to a movie that had lots of violence and nudity. But you know what? Child Protective Services didn't come after him. Because this is the 80s. He can do stuff like that. Excalibur.
Excalibur, never seen.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to bring that up. I think you would really like that movie.
I probably would. It sounds good.
Because there's one part that's really weird is the knight's armor is so damn shiny. But it's the kind of armor where it's actually clunky. Like, I've seen video where they have, like, actually fitted armor on a person, and they can do, like, combat rolls and stuff like that. Like, you know, they're very, very, you know, they still have their dexterity. They can still move around. They're still agile. But in these, it's like, you fall on the ground, you're not getting up, and you're going to get stuck with all kinds of weapons.
Like a turtle, yeah.
Yeah, you're going, I can't get up. And they're going, you don't mind us poking in your joints, do you? With our pointy weapons? Why does your turtle sound like an old man?
I don't know.
Because he is an old man. Speaking of turtles, I was telling somebody the other day about my grandpa had a desert tortoise that lived in his backyard.
Big giant one?
Yeah, his name was George. Yeah, he was huge. He was a big dude. He was about the size of like a little small coffee table.
Would you ride him?
I probably could if I was a little kid, but this is when I was older, so I didn't try to do it then. But he used to eat like whole heads of lettuce. We just throw them out there for him.
Oh, dang.
But then like he'd go on and off, and then like you'd see him come back up later on. But the funny thing is, you look at that turtle and you knew he was around longer than any of us. You were like, my God. That turtle probably knew some dinosaurs.
The sights you have seen.
He's like walking around all slow. He's like going, you kids don't know back in the Triassic period. That's not how they treated us. So Excalibur had Nigel Terry as King Arthur.
Nigel Terry?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
He's an actor. I've seen him in... There was a show that my friend Chance and I talk about that was on TV for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it ran that many seasons, or maybe just one. But it was kind of like he was a lord of a castle, and he had two sons, and he had a daughter, and she was like really like she'd think she'd be the maiden type, but she was like she wanted to be the fighter. She wanted to go out and fight and shoot bows and stuff like that. It's basically, it was like I'm just a forerunner to what's her name in the Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
The little girl.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name.
With a name like Nigel, he's got to be British.
I think he is. Helen Mirren played. Is that right, Mirren?
Helen Mirren, yeah.
Helen Mirren. She played Morgana, and if you want to see Helen Mirren in some kind of lax clothes, she's still an attractive woman, but man, back then. Yeah. Nicola Williamson played Merlin. I don't really know that guy. I've seen him in other movies, but I know him when I see him. Gabriel Byrne played Uther Pendragon. I think that's King Arthur's father. Is that right?
Pendragon.
Liam Neeson played Gawain. And
really?
Patrick Stewart played Leon de Grant. Oh my God. Leon de Grants? That's probably French. All right, here we go. Number one fantasy movie. Can you guess what it is? You
asking me? Oh, yeah.
Who else is in there?
I thought it was like a rhetorical question you're asking the people.
No. They're not going to answer me. No one posts in the comment section.
Bum 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 bum
bum bum bum. I had to go off of that. Okay, Conan the Barbarian, 1982. My dad let me see this movie too on VHS.
Oh my gosh. There's nudity in that, sir.
I know. My dad was like, whatever, you're going to see it later anyway. I was like, yeah, Dad, I'm going to go see it right now.
Yeah, Dad, I'm going to go see naked ladies.
We're going to go to where did he take me that one time? We went, Las Vegas, we went to the Crazy Horse 2. You know what the Crazy Horse 2 is, right?
Crazy Horse Saloon?
Crazy Horse 2. Because I guess, I don't know why it was called Crazy Horse 2.
The Crazy Horse number 2.
Yeah. It's a strip club.
Was it really?
He took me there because I think he went there. I didn't take me inside.
Oh, I was going to say,
sadly.
how did you even get in?
Come on, Dad. Come on, Dad. I wouldn't have said anything. I wouldn't have told anybody until now.
Oh, dang.
No, yeah, he had me wait in the car because you could do that back then. You could leave kids in their car in Las Vegas in the heat, and we didn't cry about it.
Are you serious?
Because we're not pussies like kids are today.
The windows were probably cracked though, right?
No, I think they were up.
Oh, is the car running?
He probably had the AC on.
Yeah, that's okay. I was say otherwise you'd be dead.
But in Las Vegas, it doesn't get it's hot, but it's never like, oh my God, I'm dying. It's the humidity. There's no humidity.
No,
it's just hot. The sun's beating down on your baseball cap. That's some Beastie Boys for you. That was from Paul Revere. Anyway,
Conan the Barbarian.
1982.
That is a great movie. I just rewatched it a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember watching that, and my friend of mine, Mark. I got lots of friends named Mark. I should say a last name, but I don't want to.
You should.
No, I almost did. We were watching that, and he was kind of looking at one scene, and then we played Dungeons and Dragons later, and I was like, I knew you were focused on this scene for a reason. It was the part when you go down when Conan tumbles into the crypt.
Yeah.
And you see the skeletons lining the wall.
Yeah.
And those little alcoves, and that's when he sees the sword. Yeah. Which, when you look at that sword, and you see the size of that skeleton, that must have been just a small sword. It was a short sword. It wasn't a full size sword.
It didn't look
in Conan's hands, he could use it as a sword. Because I have the sword that's his father made.
Yeah.
Because I've tried to find the
other sword.
I think it's called the Atlantean sword. Mm-hmm. That thing's expensive.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like $400 or $500.
Oh,
and I was like,
you got that?
Maybe one day. I also want Valeria's sword because her sword was pretty cool. Her sword was kind of a curvish. I know. Okay, let me go after the people here. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's Conan, obviously. James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
As a bad guy.
A bad dude.
Thulsa Doom.
The Riddle of Steel.
Yeah, the Riddle of Steel. What is the Riddle of Steel?
I don't know. What is it?
I don't know. Because whenever I was watching it,
I thought you were going to give me the answer.
I think Conan was figuring it out at the end because there was a part there where he says, Thulsa Doom, he goes, do you want to know it? I may as well tell you, because he was basically saying, I'm going to kill you and you're going to see Crom. I may as well give you the answer. And he's saying steel isn't strong. He's like flesh is stronger, and he's clenching his fist. He's like, what good is a sword to the hand that wields it? That kind of thing. And I think Conan's just laying there because they were beating the crap out of him. And then he has that one girl jump.
Yeah, I was just thinking of that scene.
At that time, that was one of the longest free falls from a stunt person. Yeah,
he was just like,
come to me, my child, and she goes,
crash.
She doesn't yell. She just jumps.
Doesn't James Jones go,
that is power, that is strength. But in the
long
book,
lock of hair.
In the book, she's standing up there with like a young boy who's like her, I guess her lover or something like that. When she jumps, he's up there weeping, and then as he's telling Conan all this stuff, you will contemplate this on the tree of woe, and he's like, crucify him, and then he waves for that other kid, and the other kid joins her. He just jumps.
Oh, dang.
And you're like, okay.
That's such a good movie, though.
That tree of woe part's cool. That one part is weird though when
he eats the vulture.
That part, but then the part where Subutai's running, and he kind of sees him. And I don't know if he's laughing because he's just delusional.
Oh yeah.
Does he think it's I think he thinks he's seeing things.
That's the way I took it.
Yeah, like he just starts laughing at Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, because it passes back out, right?
And then he passes out.
That one sounded just like him too.
And then he goes, and he kind of hangs his head, and then he comes running up the hill and doing this little Subutai jingle
with the music.
Yeah. Max von Sydow was King Osric, who in the parts that were taken out of the movie, he gets killed by his own guards.
Does he really?
Yeah, because remember how he said his daughter was seduced by Thulsa Doom? Mm-hmm. So then there's these three. There's the part that was out. There was an outtakes. These three guards come in, and then he sees them come in, and he knows. Okay, obviously you guys work with. He doesn't say anything, but there's no language at all. There's no verbal anything, and he has these three guards come in, and they have their hands on their weapons, and he just draws his. He's like, "Oh, I knew this day was coming," basically.
Oh,
so like he kills two of them. Hey, he kills two of them. One guy runs him through. He kills that dude while he's on the sword, and they both fall together.
Oh, dang!
You're like going, damn.
That
king was a badass. Because he even says, he talks about golden riches. He was like, they all lose their luster because he's basically saying, he goes, and it all comes down to a father's love for his daughter or something like that. So like I guess he was an adventurer before he became king. Which eventually Conan would follow that path. He'd become a king later on, but they never got to that movie.
No, there's still rumors of it maybe happening.
I call crap. 70-year-old Conan. Do you really want to see that?
Oh yeah.
What's he gonna do? You gonna have other people fight his battles for him?
Exactly.
Sidal Bergman, who played Valeria.
Oh, okay.
Now I know for a fact that she was a dancer because they wanted somebody who was graceful and beautiful, and she was. Huh?
Was she really that beautiful, though?
I thought she was decently attractive, but for a Conan era, yeah, she was beautiful.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do have a list down here of some extra beautiful ladies. But Valeria we talked about this earlier. Valeria was the perfect girlfriend, I think. If you're looking for any woman in life, you got to find somebody like that because she said that if he died. Or she died and he was still fighting for life. She'd come back from the pit of hell and fight by his side, and she does that later on. Because I still love that part because he's fighting that guy pretty good. His name Rexor. That was a big tall dude. Yeah. Who was played by Ben Davidson. He's fighting that guy and he's doing pretty good. Then he gets to a part where like he's going to swing down on Conan.
Yeah.
And he's got no defense whatsoever. Because I think he kicks his shield out of his grasp. And then he's going to swing his sword down and it gets blocked in midair. And then he gets blinded or struck across the eyes.
Yeah, something happens with his eyes.
And then Conan's like, he grabs his sword and looks over his shoulder. And there's Valeria standing there. He's like, do you want to live forever? I always love that quote. Because she was the one up on the Tower of the Serpent. And they get up to the top and they're like, how are we going to get down? Because, it's going to take too long to climb down. And she's like, she steps back and she runs a couple steps and goes, do you want to live forever? And jumps down 5-6 stories, maybe longer, into a pool of water that probably wasn't that deep. It didn't look deep. You're like going, that girl's got balls. And not really, but I mean, she did. That girl was balls. Jerry Lopez, who played Subutai, he was a surfer.
Was he really?
In California, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he was just a surfer. They were like, hey, you want to be in a movie? He got to play Subutai. I like Subutai's character, though.
I do, too.
But I like the way he fought, because he wasn't strong. He was just fast.
Yeah, because when Conan first meets him outside the
he's got a great line. Yeah,
he doesn't he do. He's like all trotted up, but then doesn't he, like stand up real fast.
Well, yeah, because he does a weird thing where like I think the way he does it, he's all wrapped up in like skins or something like that or a blanket, and then he's like food. He's like, what does he say?
He wants to have the strength to fight the wolves or something.
Yeah, he goes, give me strength so I can fight when they're wolves. But I think the thing about Subutai is, because he was Mongolian, and he recognized that Conan was a Sumerian. Sumerians are all about strength. And he, like, when he goes, give me food so when the wolves come, so I can die, I can fight with honor or something like that. I can die fighting, basically.
Yeah.
But then, like, he's just like, but he stands up like that because I think he's showing him, I'm not afraid of you.
Yeah.
And then like he was a smart guy. Plus he was an archer. Mm-hmm. But there's one scene in the orgy room when he's fighting, and the way he's on the stairs and he slashes this guy, and then he jumps over the guy's shoulder and down on the ground and turns and he slashes him 2 more times within 3 seconds. You're like going, good God, man, he's quick.
Yeah, the big orgy.
But he was the thief.
Where they got they're making people soup or people stew.
Oh yeah,
that green.
It's pretty good. It tastes like Play-Doh. I don't know.
It looks like pea
soup. It looked pretty gross.
Yeah.
Plus they had big rubber human body parts in there. Come on, give me some real people parts. Let's see. Mako was the wizard. I like that guy.
I do too. He actually did. I keep trying to get you to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender.
No, does he have a voice?
He did a voice of Uncle Iroh in the first 2 seasons, and I think it was the second season when the actual actor died.
Oh yeah.
So they had to have somebody else come in and play him Uncle Iroh in the third. Sorry, go ahead.
Sven Ole Thorson.
Is that the guy who's always in Arnold movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's in
Gladiator.
Yeah, he is. He plays Tigris or whatever.
Yeah, the big giant
Tigris
guy.
of Gaul, something like that.
I think so.
Yeah, see, I didn't put Gladiator in here because that's not based on. It's roughly fantasy, but it's supposed to be based on
like historically accurate,
historical. Yeah, you can call him a historical movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in a bunch of movies in here. Yeah, he was in 13th Warrior. He was one of the warriors.
Was he really?
Yeah, I think he was one of the. I think he's one of the ones that die in the first ambush in that little hut where they had some other guys got killed.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Yeah, he played Thorgrim. Because I always remember that name. He's like, you killed my pet snake. He goes, Thorgrim is beside himself with grief. He raised that snake from the time it was a baby. And then Thorgrim like holds his chin and like pushes him away, like, dick, it was my snake. But he never said anything. He was the one who fell for the trap when he's walking, and he sees the helmet and he turns because he used that gigantic hammer.
Yeah,
I love that part when he's in the orgy room. And he hits the pillar in the middle and some marble crumbles down. Yeah. And then he hits it again. And it tumbles over, and he's looking at it, and then he looks at his hammer like, "I did that." That's funny. Yeah, he got impaled by Conan's trap.
Yeah, that's right.
That part's cool though too, because it looks like it hits him right in the sternum, like right directly in the heart. But he's still kind of batting at Conan, like, "I'm gonna get you if it's the last thing I do."
Oh,
but man, that's so good. Let's see. Oh, then we got. William Smith played Conan's father. I've seen that guy in other movies. I know he was in a Clint Eastwood movie, Any Which Way You Can. Boom. And then, how do you say his name? Oh, and Nadiuska, who played Conan's mother, as an attractive woman. I could tell she was probably she obviously was European or something like that. She might have been Russian, but she was really pretty.
She got her head cut off.
Yeah. Still pretty though. No, and so but you notice at the part when they're leaving and they have the villages all on fire, they got heads up on poles, and Conan's father and his mother are on the highest ones.
Oh, were they really? I didn't.
You're like, oh, what? That's mean. I hope Conan didn't see that. And then Cassandra Gava, who I don't really know who she is, but she played the witch in one of the best scenes in Conan.
The horny witch.
She wasn't horny. She was distracting him so she could kill him. Because that would work on me.
He threw her into the fire.
Yep. So if I ever meet any girls and they're all like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, going, I'm not that good looking, so something's up.
Hey, come
I'm
in
all
here.
right. What? Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, come here.
Your voice is way too deep. Deeper than mine. Let's see. Honorable mentions.
Okay, let's do it.
2005, Narnia. I just put the first one. That's the only one I saw. I haven't seen the other ones.
Oh, okay. I've seen. There was how many in total? 3 or 4?
I think 3.
3. I've seen them all. I
Maybe
don't
4.
remember much
Really?
about them.
See, that's the thing. I don't remember much about the first one. I remember a lot about that because it had all kinds of fantasy monsters.
Yeah, it did.
Battling.
Man, big time.
Yeah. Georgie Henley, Skandar
Oh, Georgie.
Keynes, William Mosley, and Anna Popplewell. That was Lucy, Edmund, Peter, and Susan. And Tilda Swinton played the White Witch.
The White Witch.
Which is weird because now she's in all kinds of movies. And who played Mr. Tumnus?
That would be James McAvoy.
Professor X.
He was in Narnia?
Maybe he projected his thoughts that he was in Narnia.
Maybe he did.
Yeah. Okay, here's another one. But then how many have you seen this movie? And have you seen this movie often? Right. Monty Python's Holy Grail.
Ooh, I've seen it all the way through once, maybe 2 times.
Maybe bits and pieces.
And then bits and pieces after that, yeah.
Yeah. That came out in 1973. Is that right? 75. I can't read my own writing. Graham Chapman played King Arthur and probably a bunch of other roles. I didn't put people who they played because these guys played multiple different roles. Right. John Cleese, Eric Idle, Terry Gilliam, and Terry Jones.
Message for you, sir. I'm so happy that picked up on that.
Oh
episode.
yeah, that's my messenger notification.
That is so awesome.
Because I always hear it going, thoom, it's the arrow hitting, and he goes, message for you, sir.
That was so good.
What is the point my friend Chance and I always talk about? When they meet the wizard or the conjurer, and you think he's going to have some fantastically awesome name, and he's like, who are you who can summon fire and who are you who can summon fire and smoke without flint or steel? And he goes, there are some who call me Tim. his name's just Tim. He doesn't have his name's Raceland or Merlin or anything like that. Crazy names.
Who is it they have to answer the riddles?
Oh, they have to answer the riddles to the bridge watcher, the bridge keeper.
That's right. Doesn't he give easy answers to everybody? The last one.
It's various questions because King Arthur runs up and he's like, no, not King Arthur wasn't first. I think Lancelot was first. John Cleese runs up and he's like, what is your? And he's like, you'll have, and I have to answer this. After answer these questions 3, they're the other side you'll see. And he's like, ask your riddles, bridge keeper. I'm not afraid. He's like, what is your name? He's like, Sir Lancelot of Camelot. What is your quest to seek the Holy Grail? What is your favorite color? Blue. And he's like, okay, go on then. He just goes, okay, and he runs off. And then the other guy comes up. I think it's Sir Robin because he's not afraid, or he's afraid of everything. But he saw how easy this was, and he runs up. He goes, that's easy, and he runs up and he's like, what is your name? He's like, Sir Robin of Camelot. What is your quest? To seek the Holy Grail. And he's doing the thing with the hands motions like, come on, bring it on, let's go. He's like, what's the average rainfall of the Amazon basin? And he's like, I don't know that. And he gets tossed into the chasm. And then Gawain, I think, messes up because he goes,
he changes his answer.
Yeah, he goes, what's your favorite color? He's green. No, wait, blue. I
remember that.
He gets thrown. And then King Arthur runs across and he says, what's the average wingspan or what's the average flight speed of an unladen swallow? And he's like, African and European. Yeah. He's like, I don't know that. He
gets tossed off.
Yeah. That's it, man. Those guys are so good.
I need to rewatch that.
Stuff like that. That stuff is so good. And then the whole end of the movie gets shut down because
the police show up.
Well, because they're after Lancelot because he killed a bunch of people.
Oh, dang.
I think he actually Oh yeah, and then of course you've got the Black Knight, who's like the best part in there.
Yeah,
Takes his arm off, and he's like,
he's like,
yeah, he's like, yeah. That he's like, come on, you got pansy, and he's still funny. He goes, your arm's off. He's like, no, it's not. He goes, it is. Look, it's just a flesh wound. Then he takes off his legs.
He's just a stump. Didn't he say he'll bite him?
He goes, come back here, I'll bite your kneecaps off. He's just kind of sitting there, standing up, probably in a hole. But
oh dang!
That's such a good movie.
Yeah.
Was this is my last one? It is. No, I have two more after this. Okay, no, after this one. 1985. I saw this movie after it came out. It was on VHS, and it's entertaining for the Conan-esque kind of way, but it's not really that good. But it's Red Sonja. Now, if I don't like remakes,
right?
But if you were going to reboot a movie. You could do this now because the women thing taking over like movies. You got
women taking over everything.
You got Atomic Blonde, the Star Wars stuff like that. Give me a good Red Sonja, and an actual Red Sonja who looks like she can lift a sword, not a little dancer who's prancing around.
Somebody who's got some muscle.
Yeah, give me somebody with some muscle tone. Yeah. Like Red Sonja is not like she's not a fitness.
Not a bodybuilder, but
she's not a bodybuilder. You can give me a fitness girl. Who's got that look? Like, give me somebody who's off the new. Although, you know what? I think the one problem would be there's no way they're going to let her get away with what she wears. Because they're going, that's not practical. Because she wears the chainmail bikini thing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And you're like going, I mean, obviously it doesn't make sense. Like, you could put it in there, like if near the end she wore it, but it was maybe for like. Maybe she's hypnotized and they have her dress up for a ceremonial thing, and that's her ceremonial thing. Like Princess Leia wore the bikini thing.
Yeah, not because she wanted to.
She didn't want to. Yeah, they put her in it.
Yeah.
Hopefully they let her dress herself, because then you're like, there's all kinds of things there on the internet that let you know she might not have dressed herself. Anyway, Brigitte Nielsen played Red Sonja and did a decent job. She was tall enough to play Red Sonja.
Yeah.
She's tough enough, strong enough, pretty much. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he did not play Conan. He played Calidor, who was basically like a Conan clone.
Oh.
Yeah.
He basically played Conan, just not Conan.
Just he wore more clothes than Conan.
Oh.
Because he had like this big red vest and a crown and stuff. Sidal Bergman was in this as well. She played Queen Gedrin. She was the bad guy. The guy who I didn't write him down, but I know who he is now. The guy who played the Gestapo crony in Raiders of the Lost Ark, the guy who got the thing burned into his hand.
Oh yeah,
he played her little henchman guy.
I know you will.
Sorry, he played a little henchman. He played Queen Gedrin's little henchman guy in this.
He's good at playing little henchmen, isn't he?
Yeah, he's pretty good at that kind of role. And Ernie Reyes Jr. played Prince Tarn. He was a little martial artist. You still probably saw him. You ever seen The Rundown?
Yeah, the Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, the Rock, Dwayne, the one who was fighting him.
That's him.
Kid, that's Ernie Reyes Jr.
Oh,
he was
right.
Kicking his ass too.
Ernie Reyes Jr. Wasn't he in Ninja Turtles 2?
He was in Ninja Turtles 2. He was also in what was it?
Three Ninjas?
Surf
Ninjas.
Surf Ninjas.
Yeah, that's right.
Ninjas. Yeah, he was also in. He was a little kid then. He was in The Last Dragon.
Really?
Yeah, he was like real little. The funny part is in that movie there's a fight scene there. He's fighting against his father. Mm-hmm. It's not his actual father. Like it's his father who's the guy this is just a bad guy, but it's his father. So they do a lot of these things where like you can tell it's a father kind of playing with his son kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it still looks kind of cool. But you can kind of go, oh, well, he just kind of tapped him there, something like that. This looks like a father wrestling with his son, basically. A special mention was Lara Lamberti, who played Gedrin's handmaiden. I think she was the only person who lived out of that whole bad guy place because she just kind of like she skedaddled when things were getting bad.
Yeah, I'm just gonna step over here.
She goes, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave.
Clever girl.
Last one. You ready?
All right, let's do it.
Conan the Destroyer, 1984.
Oh.
This movie gets a lot of crap because it's not as good as Conan the Barbarian. But I think
remember,
as a group-wise, the group dynamic, this is a really good
I remember
movie.
Two things about it.
What?
Doesn't have like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in or some basketball player?
Get out of here.
What's his name?
Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Man slept with over 3,000 women.
Yeah, I couldn't
probably.
remember, sorry.
Maybe he did.
And then I remember Conan rips the horn off of that demon thing.
Yeah. Dagoth, the dreaming god. That's what its name was. Guess who played that thing at the end of the movie?
The
Dreaming God when it was a monster with a vagina mouth. It did. It had a mouth right there, and it was sideways. It was a vagina mouth.
Who was like inside the costume?
Yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No.
Oh, just because he
a
was
a really big guy.
Oh, hang on. Chewbacca.
No, Andre the Giant.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was on. I didn't know that. I
didn't either.
I saw it on the thing. Okay, we have Arnold Schwarzenegger. I wonder who he played. Conan. People are gonna think I'm weird for this. Okay, Grace Jones. She played Zula. She's a really weird chick. She's really crazy.
She's the black chick with the flat top?
Yeah, but I think she's pretty, like face wise. Mm-hmm. But when you put out the extravagant costumes and weird stuff that she wears, I'm like going, she's one of those girls who's like, she's attractive, but I don't know you'd survive a night. You might be dead. Yeah, she played Zula. She was this. I remember her group. They were like bandits or something like that, and they attacked this town in the night. But they were all killed except her, and they were keeping her around for fun. And they were like trying to hit her and swat at her and throw rocks at her. And they let her have her staff so she could swing at him, but she couldn't reach him because they had her on a leash.
Right.
And then Conan walks up like he's going to execute her, and he slashes her leash and frees her. And she just goes to town whooping the crap out of these people. And then they let her go. Like, she's so good with that staff. She does this thing where she's walking back to her horse, and she looks back, and they're inching forward towards her. They all jump back and get away from her. And then like she gets up on her horse, and then she does this thing where she brings the staff under her arm like a lance.
Yeah.
And they keep trying to inch forward like they're going to attack her, but they keep jumping back every time she does something because she's beating up so many of them that they're afraid of her at that point.
They might just give up, man.
Wilt Chamberlain played Bombata. Yeah, that dude was tall.
Yeah, he was.
He had a weird weapon. He had a Morning Star with spikes on it, but it was a staff with a ball in the end that had a bunch of spikes. But then it had this like wicked looking like half an axe blade coming off the back of it like a hook.
Oh yeah.
And I remember at one point he uses that on a guy right in his back. You're like, going, oh my god, that would be devastating.
That would have sucked, man.
Mako was back, but this time he was Akiro, who was the wizard.
Really?
It was a different character. I thought it was the same guy.
Oh.
Or maybe it could have been the same guy. But they gave him a name in this one. They called him the Wizard, but his name was Akiro.
Huh, okay. Did Conan act like he knew him? Conan?
Yeah, because there's a part that goes he says, we're going to fight magic. We need magic to combat magic. And he goes, and then he says,
I know just
then Tracy Walter, who plays Malik, he's like the little thief. He's in the beginning of the movie with Conan. I guess they just robbed the place and they had guards coming after him.
Right.
And he's like swallowing. He kept swallowing gems, which makes sense because they weren't like edged gems. They were like rough cut gems. But he would just swallow them to keep them because he's going to pass them later.
Yeah.
You can't get them if they're, I didn't steal anything.
Yeah, I got it.
I got nothing on me. Strip me naked. I got nothing. Let me get out of here before an hour's up. But he was like, oh, the wizard. We're going to go get the wizard. And then these cannibal guys were going to eat him, and Conan fights them off. There's one part though. I hope that guy's still alive. Because there's one of the tribal guys runs up. He's got a bone across the top of his head, and he's like trying to badger at Conan or something like that. And he brings his sword way up and down on top of the guy's head and cuts the bone in two, and the guy falls. But I'm like going, oh my god, they wouldn't do that now.
Oh heck no,
that's too risky. There was a part in I didn't mention this in Conan, but a lot of people got injured in that movie. Saddam Bergman almost lost a finger during sword fighting.
Really?
And there's a part in there. Remember when she's in the caves and they're exiting?
Yeah.
And then these two guys get in front of her, and she turns around. And there's two guys behind her, and she does the thing where she kind of stands there and she's like tapping her sword in her hands, like let's go, boys, something like that. But I love that part because she's got the gem, the one that was stolen, all around her neck, and there's a point where it kind of gleams towards the camera, like, "Ching! Look what I got! Come and get it!" And then they move towards her. The last guy she fights, she brings her sword up, and you can see it hit him right in the neck, and jaws, like right under his jawbone, and drives his head back. And there's a moment there. They just kept going. They just kept rolling, and he kind of puts his hands on his neck, and you can tell it's fake blood. Hopefully,
yeah.
But he slaps his hand up there to show the blood, spurting out, and then he falls down. But she has this. She's looking at him, kind of like going, "Are you okay?"
Oh.
But then like she's still in her role. She's getting ready to run, but she's there. Just it looks like she's waiting for cut.
Yeah.
She's like, I cut him.
Oh,
but
dang.
It looked like she jabbed that guy right in the neck.
She probably cut him pretty good.
I think she got him. I've watched it over and over before. She got him pretty good, but he kind of goes back and then falls down and goes still. But her mannerisms kind of like going, I know, I just saw myself hit this guy. Is anyone going to?
It may have been like blunt enough that it may have maybe. Just,
yeah, I think that's what it was. It was
maybe just stunned him a little bit. Or,
it was the blunt part of her sword because her sword kind of had that curve at the tip.
Yeah.
Where it was kind of sharp at one point, but then more dull in the rest of it. But yeah, I thought it was crazy. Let's see. Tracy Walter played Malik. He was also in like a lot of westerns and stuff back in the day.
Mm.
You probably remember who that guy is. Sarah Douglas, who I've seen her in movies before, she played Queen Taramis, who was a bad guy. Olivia Diabo played Princess Jenna. Andre the Giant played Daggett, the Dreaming God.
That's crazy. I had no idea.
And then Sven Ole.
Oh, he reappears?
Sven Ole Thorson was Togra. He was one of the Queen's guards because he was the last guy when the guards ambush Conan and the group and they're fighting them all. He's the last guy Conan's fight.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a part in there where like they, I don't know what they're doing. It's like they're comparing dick sizes or something. But like that guy comes down, like they both fall off the horse and he hits the ground. He gets up and he has this thing where he has his hand forward and his sword to the side, like, "Oh, this is my pose." And Conan goes, "Yeah, this is my pose." And he pulls his sword up to the side, does that classic Conan to the sword to the side pose. And the other guy does the one where he brings his sword over his head and has his arm forward. And then Conan does the one where he brings it up and over his head. And then the guy does another pose, and then Schwarzenegger does this thing where he goes, he brings the sword around and forward, like, and flexes, and he's like, "Go on, bring it." Oh man, that part's awesome. But yeah, it's like you're trying to one up each other, like Conan won, so he's gonna win for the
That's right.
fight.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry, Sven.
You didn't learn the Conan poses.
No, you lose.
You lose a life, and that's pretty much it. Conan the Destroyer. I just remember. Yeah, because it was a group dynamic. It was because in Conan the Destroyer or Barbarian, there was a group, but it was just 3 people, really.
Yeah.
But this one had like a whole bunch of people, and it was more. In that case, it was more like a Dungeons and Dragons group where you had a big group going out together to do the little fighting stuff like that. But yeah, I like this. I like those movies. There's some movies I'm gonna have to pull some of these and be like, got to bring these for Nathan to watch.
Yeah, you're gonna have to bring several of those. Excalibur,
Dragon's Lair,
definitely.
I keep saying Dragon's Lair. It's Dragon Slayer.
I'm sorry, yeah, Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
Those two definitely. Crawl, I'm not sure if I've seen.
What do you think happens at the end of Dragon Slayer?
Dragon Slayer?
Yeah, it's like in the title. you know what you're getting into when you go see the movie.
Yeah, like the movie John dies at the end.
Yeah,
it tells you in the title what happens.
Kind of like the movie Titanic. Now, if that movie ended where it got in the port, I'd go, "What the hell am I watching here? Is this alternate history?"
Yeah. Is this a Tarantino version of Titanic?
What was that movie? Oh, Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
When they have... You see Cheech Marin? Is it Marin?
Cheech Marin? Is he in it?
Yeah, he's in it. He's in one little scene, though, when the Titanic pulls in the port.
Oh,
and
okay.
He looks at the dockmaster like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, I remember that scene.
Because they're all walking out. There's a giant hole in the side of it because they just thought an iceberg hit the side and it sunk all in one piece.
Yeah, just sunk in one piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened.
No.
Was that it, sir?
Yeah, that's all I got. I mean, I can't think of any other. There's all kinds of like fantasy movies, but those are really the ones that I can think of.
Those are good ones.
The major ones that I grew up with.
Gave me several. I gotta watch and I need to revisit some of them. Willow, I definitely want to revisit again.
Yeah, Willow's good though because there's just what's the one line where he's looking for the little girl because Val Kilmer's got her. What's the princess's name? Oh my God,
Leia.
No, not that one. The other one. Yeah, little Willow has a little baby named Leia. Well, that's weird.
I've noticed these last 2 episodes, whenever you say names that I think sounds like celebrity names, I just say that. I've just been saying that. I'm sorry.
Oh, Elora Danan, that's her name.
Oh, okay.
Because I made a joke to myself because I'm weird. And the other day I was like, Princess Elora Danan, she's the one who makes yogurt. But there's a part where he's like, Matt Mardigan he's walking up and he's got the baby and Willow's walking up to Matt Mardigan and he's like, what are you doing? He goes, "We found some blackroot. She loves it." He's like, He's like, you can't feed a baby black earth. He goes, my mother raised us on black earth. He goes, it's good for you, Sticks, isn't it? Puts hair on your chest. And he's like, she's the Princess Loredana. And he goes, last thing she's gonna want is a hairy chest. and he takes the black root and he walks away. And he's like, he stole our black root. And like he does this weird little voice. And he goes, I'll get some more. Don't worry about it. Oh man! Well, I think black root is licorice. That's all I think it is.
Is it?
I don't know.
Oh,
because they're eating something that's just like this black root, but it's probably something that tastes like black licorice.
probably
But that sounds delicious to me.
black
'Cause
licorice.
I love black licorice.
Well, I was going to mention. Do we want to roll, or I noticed?
I've got
Well,
decisions.
well, before you go, what's your decision? Go ahead.
The next one, because from what I've realized from your thing, and you can probably cut this out if you want to, that this today we've recorded this one,
Yeah, I think we're probably about to agree on the same thing.
and Sunday you're going to put up the conspiracy things.
Mm-hmm.
The next Sunday or next weekend you'll put up the one
We're doing now.
the one we're doing this one right now, and then the 15th is the next time we do the podcast.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say. We do a road trip and we invite Paul because I've already talked to Paul.
Oh, okay. Actually, no, that's not what I was thinking.
Okay, but he said yeah, but I mean if it drops, we'll just figure out something.
Okay.
But he said yeah, he'd be up for that, and I was like, if he's already here, then the one that would come out for the 23rd, for 2 days before Christmas, would be because it's Paul and it's you. We just do sports for the end of the year.
Oh, okay, you don't want to do like a
We could do a mini Christmas one.
Well, that's what I was wondering, like make favorite movies set at Christmas or something. Well, actually,
favorite Christmas present? I'll tell you that one right there. Guess what it was? No, I'm not telling you. You. Find out later.
Well, I was actually thinking because when we get back together to record again, it will be the Last Jedi premiere weekend.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't know if you wanted
Holy
to do
crap.
a Last Jedi review.
That depends if we get to see it or not.
We should. We got in to see the first one at the start.
That's true. Of course, I'm going to because it's what Friday. Oh, I'll be there.
We'll figure it out though. We will. So as of right now, we're not 100% sure if we're going to do our Fury road trip, talk about it, or
That
maybe
makes it sound weird.
or maybe do
That's what we called it. Though.
our Star Wars Episode 8, the Last Jedi review.
If it's a review, it shouldn't be that long. Well, I don't know. We're kind of long-winded.
Yeah, well, the last two episodes we went kind of long.
Oh man, we're at hour 30 right now. All right.
So yeah, we'll go ahead and end it there. Real quick, you can email us at geeksamusing@gmail.com. You can check out our YouTube. Just search Geeks-a-Musing for we throw this up there and throw some video game footage up here and there. So, but if you don't have anything else, that'll be it. Anything?
No.
Okay. All right. So for Geeks-a-Musing, this has been Nathan.
And this is Ryan. Be a geek, be a nerd, but don't be a dork.